Almost since the opening of Disneyland in California, Disney has had several different ideas about different parks they can build all over the world. Some of them come to fruition, like Shanghai Disneyland, and others don't. Today I'm going to go over some of those that never came to fruition and some future thoughts I have about future Disney parks. Now let's go back in time to 1997. I know it feels like forever ago, but that's actually pretty recent in Disney terms. Disney was really considering buying an area of land in Haymarket, Virginia, which is actually relatively close to where I live now, and building what's called Disney's America. Disney made it so far in the planning, they had a plan for how Disney's America would look. They had a Native America, President Square, Crossroads USA, Enterprise, We the People, Civil War Fort, Family Farm, and so on. There were a lot of different patriotic things that Disney had in mind, but it never came about because there were several different, land issues. Where were they going to be? Did people want a theme park there? There were a lot of different issues that came up and it was eventually canceled. Another theme park that the Disney company was ready to build, they had thoughts in place what they were going to do, was something called Port Disney. It was meant to go in the Queensway Bay Port of Long Beach in Long Beach, California. Port Disney was to consist of many different things, including hotels, its own monorail, and an area called Disney Sea. Well, right now we know that Tokyo Disney Sea in Japan is very, very popular. I hope to see it one day, so they took that idea and moved it to Japan, and then they scrapped the entire Port Disney idea for a whole new idea called Westcott. Yes, I am saying that correctly, Westcott. It was supposed to be an Epcot duplicate next to Disneyland in California. It makes a lot of sense, you make a Westcott. I like the idea, but it never came about. One of the biggest reasons why Westcott was eventually canceled, even though we would have loved to see it, is because the area around Disneyland is now extremely expensive property. So for Disney to buy that area next to their theme park would cost them a tremendous amount of money, and they decided instead just to build a Grand Californian hotel, which is fantastic. It's a hotel right there at Disneyland, but there's no Westcott. But don't worry, those in California, you can come over to Disney World to see the original Epcot. If we go even further back in time, before Walt Disney World, that's how far back in time we are, 1963, Disney had the idea for Walt Disney's Riverfront Square to be built in St. Louis, Missouri. For many different reasons, Riverfront Square never made it to Missouri, and instead, after Disney had, looked at it a little bit and they'd worked out some things and it didn't work out, he set his sights on Florida, and now we have Walt Disney World. Now, those are just a few of my favorites, and if we consider how many different parks didn't actually come to fruition after they had planned out everything, literally, they had all the little details ready to go, and it didn't happen. It makes me think about the future and whether or not Disney will maybe build a future park and what that could look like. So the big question that I have on my mind, will Disney be building other theme parks in the future? Well, of course they will, but how far into the future are we talking about? That's the big question. 10, 15, 20, 30 years down the road? I don't know, but if I had to guess, it's going to be a long, long time. The reason is Disney is getting extremely good at just expanding the current parks that they have, and there are a lot of advantages to that, not only for the company, and they spend less money on building an entirely new theme park, but they also have the infrastructure already in place, so we have more opportunities to stay in the area, different good neighbor hotels if we want to save money, and there are all sorts of different options. We can stay at other theme parks. There are more things to do when you're building an addition to a current theme park. So I think it's a really good thing, but I know one day in the distant future, Disney will build another theme park. So after Disney has expanded all of these different parks, Walt Disney World, Disneyland, Shanghai Disneyland, all these great parks, they've expanded them, added so much, and they decide to build a new one. Where do I think it could go, and what do I think the theming might be? I have heard so many different ideas about where Disney might build their future parks. Again, 20 years, 30 years down the line, so this is long-term thinking. We'll come back together and see how accurate I was. But if I had to guess, I think Disney really does like to prioritize the weather. They look at the climate in a certain area. That's, I think, why they were looking at Virginia, because the weather usually isn't that bad. A little muggy here, rainy there, but it's not like blizzard snowing. As much as I'd love to see a Disney park in Maine, I doubt that's going to happen just because there's so much snow and the weather is such a big factor. So I think that in the future, if Disney decides to build another park, I think it'll be in the United States, somewhere where the weather is relatively good. As far as the theming is concerned, I'm totally biased. I want to see a Disney America. I think that would be fantastic, a really patriotic Americana type theme park. Wow, that would be incredible. We can have like a veterans parade, and if you're a veteran, you can just join the parade. It would be amazing. It really would. They could even do that family farm, the Civil War fort, and the state fair. Enterprise, Crossroads USA, Native America. It would be amazing. It would be incredible. Please, Disney. That would be so cool. Bring it back. Let's see it. So now it's your turn to take a guess at the future Disney theme park. My thought is good weather area, American themed, and in the United States somewhere. Those are my thoughts. We'll come back to this video in 20 years and see who got the closest. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you so much for being a part of the magic with me. Until next time, have a magical day.